Has Leica lost its mojo? Today I want to discuss that. I want to throw a little bit of negativity on Leica as a brand, something that I have never done on this channel before. It's been an interesting week this week. Firstly, Leica have released or re-released their famous M6 camera, which is this is the predecessor to that. This is the original M6. They've re-released that, and there's been a lot of hoopla about that. Secondly, a friend of mine, Paul Taylor, who I've talked about on this channel recently, managed to buy his first Leica this week, or last week I think it was, after many years of wanting one. Anyway, after about 10 days of owning this camera, the thing's getting sent back to Germany because there's a problem with the sensor. He used it, and fortunately used it during a laser light show, and apparently that's damaged the sensor, so he's having to send the camera back to Germany for a repair. And thirdly, I was watching a video last night by a guy in Australia, SHOOTSWITHCOOPS, I think the channel's name is. I'm not sure about that, but I'll put a link below for his channel and the video. And this guy brought up some really good points about the new M6 release and where he felt Leica had gone wrong with the release of that camera. And I found myself shaking my head in agreement with a lot of things he had to say. So with the culmination of these three things this week, it's made me think about Leica as a company and where I think they're sitting. Some things that I'm not really happy about. I've never really talked a lot of negativity on this channel about anything really, but and especially about Leica in particular. I've never had a bad thing to say about their cameras. In fact, I've been one of the people that flies the banner for them. But this week I thought I'd make this video, not a video I really want to make, but I thought it's probably something I have to do because I feel compelled to share my feelings on this. Firstly, to address the problem that Paul had with his brand new Leica Q2. It just got me thinking about it, and admittedly, I take on board that the laser thing could be something that could happen to any camera. But Paul's quite rightly stated that he's shot at events before many times with cameras where there are lasers present, and he's shot with no problems at all. And I feel sorry for Paul because I think he feels that he made the mistake of putting this thing in front of a laser and it's damaged because of what he's done. The more I think about it, I'm just questioning the quality issues that Leica seem to have a history of. And in this case of Paul, he's gone out and bought a camera which is not a cheap camera. I think the retail price for that camera is 10,400 New Zealand dollars. And for me, spending that kind of money, you should have some kind of peace of mind that that camera is going to be able to take a fair bit of punishment as well as produce good images. I have no problems with Leica cameras and the images that they produce, but I do have a problem with the continuing issues they seem to be having with their reliability, particularly with their sensors. And it seems to get brushed off, and it's all part of it. It's Leica, and Leica cameras stand by it and they'll replace the sensor and all this stuff. Go and tell that to Paul Taylor, who's just purchased this camera and it's got to now have a 3 to 4 month wait to get it back. And I feel it's just so unfair that that Leica are putting these cameras out. And yes, I know that the laser thing, we've got to take that into account, but they've got a reputation of putting out cameras that have got problems. And I really feel for Paul because he's like me. He's just a normal guy. $10,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to anybody. But to guys like us, it's a huge amount of money, and it takes a huge amount of trust to put that money into a piece of gear like a camera. So the M6, my thoughts. I've had people ask me this week what I think. Am I excited about it? Am I going to buy one? Firstly, no, I'm not going to buy one. What do I think about it? Am I excited? Initially, I think maybe a little bit, but after thinking about it and watching this video by this guy Coops in Australia, it reiterated the fact that I'm not too sure it's a good idea. I think what Leica are doing is that they are kind of reminds me of these old rock bands that continually keep on regurgitating their old backlog of material and re-releases and special editions and re-engineered, reproduced, remastered versions of their old albums, and And it really is just like that. It's a marketing ploy. You know, Leica have a massive fan base. Because of that fan base and the loyalty and the trust that they've actually built over the years, they're able to put these products out that people just go and buy. And, you know, they don't have to work very hard at making new products to make money. And I think it's a little bit sad, you know, and again, going back to the video by Cooper, Mr. Cooper, or Coops, whatever his name is, I think he makes some good points. You know, why not manufacture a camera that's more affordable to the film shooting community? And if you look at that community, by and large, it's a community made of, you know, mostly younger people now, and people, you know, just people who love shooting film, and people that don't necessarily have $10,000 to spend on a new camera. This is kind of one of the reasons why I'm, you know, now starting to question their integrity as a company, and, you know, have they lost their mojo? And when I say have they lost their mojo, I'm referring to the fact that, you know, they've built their brand on the fact that they manufacture beautiful cameras of quality, you know, of distinction. You know, it's almost the ultimate camera brand, and they've built this brand over many years. And I feel now, I just have this gut feeling that they're starting to lose it. They're starting to lose that credibility. They're starting to lose their mojo, I guess. I look at the recent promotional videos for the CM6, and I just can't help but feel that they're kind of just going over the same old stuff, pushing this like a magic thing, and you know, it's getting a little bit boring. I think it's getting a little bit old hat. They're starting to lose sight of why people love their cameras, and to me, they should be about, you know, being able to use them in any circumstances. I've got a Leica ME, for instance, that's, I think it's on a 3rd or 4th sensor, but I was using it on the weekend, for instance, and I got some beautiful pictures at the graffiti, the street art event in Taupo on the weekend. Got some nice pictures, particularly this picture of this artist here. But you know, there was a shot I'd taken that got hit with direct sunlight, and, you know, you can see there's a problem on that sensor. There's a problem. It's reacted badly on the sensor. It's the only time I've ever experienced it. I've never experienced that with any of my other cameras. You know, I've had my Olympus cameras in all sorts of conditions, put them in bright light, and I've never had a problem. But the M9, you know, again, it takes beautiful pictures. I'm not saying it doesn't, but every now and again you get something like this happening, and you just scratch your head and you think, oh, you know, if they got it right. And I'm making this video not to bash them or anything, but just, and nobody will probably watch this at Leica, but if there is somebody watching, you know, we love Leica cameras, and there is something special about them. It's not bullshit. Just try to start getting it right. The history that you guys have created over the past how many years means something to us, and it means something to us that you continue with that, and you help us keep the faith in what you're making. That's it for this episode. Thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed my point of view on Leica cameras today. Not a video that I was planning on making this week, but I thought I had to make it, so I hope you enjoyed that. Before I go, if you'd like to support this channel, which hopefully you will, you can buy one of my books. I'll put a link up here for that. I have a couple of books available. I have Scenes from the Black Sand, which is a book about my time on the west coast beaches of Auckland. Only a few copies of that left. It'll be sold out pretty soon. A brand new book, Incidents of Isolation. I'm very proud of that book. It's a mixture of film photography and digital photography. It's Incidents of Isolation. You can also buy both the books in a specially priced 2-book deal, available on that link, like I say. I have to go now. Leica, we love you, but please do something about the quality of your gear going forward, and live up to your legacy. Please take care. I gotta go. Haere rā from New Zealand. Goodbye.